Today's 26th of July, 2025, and today's session is about let go of baggage to fly high. And today our WeAreOne group weekly session number 254. So today's session is about understanding of those aspects of our daily life that what we don't need on our spiritual journey. It can be now you are reaching it to you as an advice, and also it comes from within through when our awareness grows. So these aspects, what we are going to discuss, these points, slowly it loses its relevance in our life. Our external life does not change. So it is not about changing the external circumstances or events or our so-called our life. In that sense, nothing in the external situations of our life, events in our life will change. However, on this process, our life changes because life is not about a bunch of external incidents happening around us. It is about how we perceive it, how we sense it, how we experience it, how we are going through it. That makes our life. That is why the same incident, maybe one incident has occurred, but different people will have a different experience with that. So, based on their experience, they will get that will be their life events. Okay, it is not same. Why it is not same? Because we are all in different level of awareness. So, at soul level, we are all same. At the physical level, maybe our physical geographic locations are different. Our family members are different. The house we stay at different. That's fine. That's not normal. But the elements are basically same. We have the roti kapra makan, and we have to take care of ourselves and pay bills and do work and earn money and take care of our family members and try to tackle any issues we are facing in the external world. Any event occurs, we need to protect ourselves. We have to have our own goals in our external life. We have to pursue that. That's all those. There is nothing dramatically different than all of us. We are on the planet Earth. So maybe the degree or scale is different, but the thing is that what makes the difference is how we are perceiving them and how we are responding to them. High awareness means you are taken the decisions of your life or whatever you are trying to do that needs our spiritual maturity, walking the path. But till that time, before that, you are taken by the logic and the so-called our intellectual capacity, which that most of us, we are taking as per our intellect and things like that. And that is basically governed by our own ego. So, it is a journey from the ego to the consciousness, like soul consciousness. That is our spiritual path. So where it's that reminds me our Guruji used to say it is just 1 foot journey, from the brain to heart, the love and above. So this journey, where we actually stand depends upon our level of awareness. If we are 100% operating from our brain or the intellect, then we are basically governed by our ego. And the experiences will be like that. And when we slowly, of course, we cannot jump directly, so that the percentage-wise, if degree changes. When it's 50-50, you are already established into your spiritual journey, so you understand many things, and many things you still consider yourself as a victim. And then finally, when it goes further to that consciousness level, then you operate in a completely different manner. Means you respond, not operate, but you respond in completely different manner. The way you make your decisions, the way you take actions, the way you feel everything around you, about you, and your circumstances, your situation, that changes completely. When you are 100% rooted into that, then you can say that is soulful living or holistic living. Yeah. Where 100% you are guided by your soul consciousness. There is no place of your intellect or ego is there. That's what it means. So in this journey from the mind to heart, or the brain to the consciousness, or the ego to the soul level, this whatever name we call it, in this journey, it is when you go, your burden is less and less, and you become lighter and lighter, because you are going toward the freedom. And that freedom is, that's what we say, that it looks like you are carrying too much of burden on your shoulder when you are operating, normally all of us, we are householders. I need not to explain what the burdens are. Then it becomes tough moving forward, moving in life, whatever things, so many complications, so many parameters, so many things. We keep on, basically every day it is a fight or, struggle to live. So something or other popping up here and there, and it is affecting us. And most of them things are so-called negative. So we have to, that's why I've said we have to suffer or struggle with those things. Slowly, then if we walk the path, then those kind of burdens or baggages get dropped. But for that, you need to come out of your comfort zone. Means you cannot repeat the same thing what you used to live earlier, same way of thinking, same way of considering, and expecting a different result. It will not happen. Okay. If you choose to learn the path, it is different. It's not logical either. You cannot logically arrive there. If you are ready, and then that, if you are here for us, Babaji sends his agent, and his agent will then guide you, give you some kind of tips, some kind of, at least some kind of guidance. But there is no compulsion. It is not that somebody will impose a new rule on you. No, it's all path of freedom. And so it will show you how to evolve, not running away. Running away means it was in the same plane, try to hiding here and there, try to, go away from your troubles. It is about lifting up, that's what it is mentioned here, flying high. So when you fly high, slowly evolve on your spiritual journey, then you have to get rid of certain things, certain practices, what you used to do earlier. And those things we will discuss today. And those, if, of course, it will not go overnight. It takes effort. It's conscious decision that I'm going to do it, I'm going to try it, and things like that. There are multiple ways of doing it. Methods are different, but goal is same, to make yourself lighter so that nothing can drag you down. So when this process completes, absolutely no such thing dragging down, then you liberate yourself. And you can say that is a state of enlightenment. 100% you are operated through your consciousness, soul consciousness. Yeah. No longer, not even a 0.1% you are governed by your ego or any mental mind construct. Okay, so that is the thing. So let us now come to the practicality of it, because Babaji has given me mission to not to go into too much high into the spiritual stuff, like the different high level of sadhana or meditation or this thing, because more you go higher and higher, less and less people will be there to available to get into that. That is not the mission that Babaji has given me. Babaji has given me to go come down, at the grassroots level as much as possible, and just give that little bit advice, the tips, so that our common thing, common issues, what we are facing, we can get solution out of it. It helps us to take the decision, in ourselves, without forget about that higher journey. At least wherever we are, if we are able to take a better decisions, we can think of a better alternative. Then that is way it should start, and that's how if we apply in the multiple areas of our life, then our life changes. Yeah, that is the idea. So you might have seen most of the topics we select is directly related to our day-to-day experiences of life. Not necessarily it is a very high level of spiritual, particular sadhana or high level of scripture, driven thing, that what is written there and what is written there. So it is not important, because it will be important when we complete our journey, when we get that enlightened. Then when we get that, it will be everything clear. But now you might have noticed, even we don't encourage to, quote from somewhere and share it, or explaining some scriptures here and all those kind of thing. Why? Because it is not a disrespect to the scriptures. They are correct, they are good and all. But at this level, if we are looking at it, then definitely we'll find something which is contradictory. It's some scripture is telling that, something is telling that, or some master is telling those things, some other, things are written, the ancient script is written this. That may be contradictory. Or some of the things may be written at some time which doesn't fit into the modern era. So that's why we'll not be able to understand it fully, that what actually was meant to do. And this confusion, when we read and get, that creates a confusion in us. And that confusion become the stumbling block to our own spiritual progress. That is why we discourage, don't go into that, let it be there. Yeah. Scriptures and other things and all. Don't confuse yourself with too much of information. Now, there is no dearth of information. You just type few things and whole lot of things you will get it from the internet. So-called Googling or AI or whatever. So it is not about that information, because that information will not get you enlightened. Yeah, that will not change your life, because these things are experiential. And most of the things you have to go through the process to get it. Just reading about how to win an Olympic medal will not get you actually the Olympic medalist. No? You will gather too many of information. But unless until you practice for it, go through the process, and compete, and then participate in Olympics, then only there is a chance that you will become truly an Olympic medalist, right? Same here. So what basically I'm saying, no need to read the history of Olympics to be into that race. Prepare yourself. Whatever you need, you don't need all these kind of things or reading the life story of say 50 or 60 medalists. No need. Story will not take you there. Story, rather it will be just like a few minutes back I was explaining, it may confuse you more. Maybe one of the Olympic medalists, they prepared themselves by climbing a mountain every day and coming down, and that helped to win some race. Another person maybe used swimming to go there. Another person used weightlifting to come to that level of things. So when you read all of this, so you will see which one I should do. Where should I follow this, follow that, follow that? It's a contradictory. That is why you said don't go into all those kind of things. You are unique. So your set of parameters for you will be unique. So you need to find it out experientially, that what suits best for you. And that is the right method for you to move forward. Okay, I'm just giving an analogy to understand. So don't waste time unnecessarily to studying so many things. What you basically need, you practice. Whatever the spiritual guidance you believe you getting through from the channels through the Babaji has sent you, try to practice that. If you face any issues into that practice, then you ask your guide or guru. Yeah. But no need to discuss about who did what and what is written where and all those kind of things. It is just wastage of time. Yeah. When you become an Olympic medalist, then you study how others reach there. That may be a point of interest. That time it makes sense. But initially, it is just overburdening with information, what you really don't need. Okay. All right. So this is the background. Let us start with a point by point, whatever we have discussed there. So first baggage, what need to be dropped? Or in other way, it automatically get dropped when one goes higher into their spiritual journey. That is validation from others and society. When you walk the path, the changes will start happening in your life, day-to-day life. In these points, none of these points I have mentioned here, these are denotes a heavy spiritual practice or special technique or, or maybe Shakti sadhana or expanded awareness. Nothing of that sort here. Here we are focusing on the issue, what is to be dropped, so that this becomes your bullet point. You can analyze yourself, where do you stand into this one? By the way, most of the time we take some decisions unconsciously, unknowingly. But when it happens, then you can recollect and understand from where it has come. Yeah? From that also, it will serve you as like a checklist. Where do you stand in all those things? You have taken action and reacted a certain environment a certain way. What is the origin of that? What is how you actually score into that on your own? You need not to tell anybody, you need not to prove anybody. And it may not be a matter of interest to anyone else, but for you, for your own growth, you can check these things. Okay. So first point is about validation from others and the society. It is it is no need to say that our so-called life starts with getting validation from other people. It started in the beginning, validation from our parents, then the bigger family, then our neighbors, and then when you go to the school and the education system, the teachers and other students, and then our friends and social circles, and grow up, and then we start professional things and professional circles. We keep on looking for the validation so that we get accepted. And all learn certain things so that we can go higher, come out with so-called flying colors. So from what your priority point of view, it gives one of the top priority that we need to accept it. We need to, by approved by everything, and that's what our rating goes high into the society. That kind of attitude, what I have, what we had, so that makes us developing whole industry of social media. Most of the things in social media, it is all about that to show the what I can do, what I have, and about my selection, my way of life, and all those things. Mostly, these are the things people put it there. Just ask yourself why we do that. What I'm eating today, how does it matter to somebody else? Or where I'm going to travel? Or how I'm enjoying with my family? How it will be important for anybody else to know? Okay. Nobody else actually it is needed. It is just we need to, advertise ourselves so that our social ranking goes high. Even we look into how many likes we got, things like that. Okay. We make it better and to whole thing, the really new stuff what we came after this social media thing is called selfie. Earlier, there is no such thing called selfie. Okay. Nobody else. I'm taking my own photo hundreds of ways and maybe this way, and whatnot, and posting it to the social media. It is other than self-gratification, whatnot. Self-gratification, there is another point. I'll discuss it more there. What I'm basically saying that it is just showmanship. We wanted to show something. We need approval of somebody. Whether truly we are living a joyful life, happy life, it doesn't matter. But we have to show that we are happy, we are living fantastic life. So that is more important. That we are actually living that. Anyway, so when you walk your spiritual journey, so then you walk the path of the truth. It is not important that whether you get validation from XYZ, from the external, whoever is saying it, whoever is telling you it's okay, great, and all those things. And because that time you realize it is not the truth around there. Whatever you internally connected, internal connections, or the higher dimensions, or the masters, or whatever governing through the spiritual principles, who is basically guiding you to evolve. We need to prove that whatever you received, that you are implemented, that is the best thing on your journey. It is not important that how much socialite you are, how many followers you have, and all those things. It is because it is your completely individual journey. Many people spend their lifetime is developing their image and things like that, and suddenly something goes wrong, something happened. They may lose their health, they may lose their look, things, and suddenly they lose all this kind of friends, all this kind of things, because the thing they were developing upon, that has gone. And the truth is that we come to know about some socialite, or some show business personnel that died at a very young age, and also this is very bad, and things like that. Becomes looks and other things become so important. They've chosen certain lifestyle, and it is harming their own health. And so that is the kind of thing that is their choice. So anyway, what I'm saying is the truth will not stop because what you want, what you desire. Truth will follow what you deserve. Okay. If you in the name of getting into too much of, physical attractiveness and social acceptability, if you abuse your body with or different type of cosmetic surgeries or different type of beauty medicine or whatnot, then it will impact. One point of time, it will impact your health, and it will be something will appear that will be the issue, the reason you did it. It will be completely. They will turn back on you because you are no longer into that, because the truth you cannot sustain. All right. So that is clear that the very reason we do a lot of things, the same reason, the external factors will turn back on us when our actual truth comes out of it. So, but if we stick to our own truth, then it is, truth has its own beauty. Satyam Sivam Sundaram. It has got power to attract much, much higher level than what that cosmetic stuff can do. Like if I going to see my skin color or facial things and I change certain aspects of that, or I learn many things, how to talk and how to nice talk, convince people and things like that. After so much of learning, maybe for certain time it is okay. But true appeal you have when you go to your originality. Originality had its own attractiveness. Why? It is very difficult to explain. But it is having its own appeal. So it is like, you can see a lot of lights, right? In the night time, you can say this light, that type. LED or this light, that light. But after you go to see a lot of different types of light, in the dark night, when you see the moonlight, there is nothing special about the shape of the moon or light of the moon per se, right? But what was the appeal? That has got the magic touch. That is the power of the truth. Moonlight is having that, what no other light, artificial light on planet Earth can create. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's much, much more powerful and much, much persistent. It doesn't change with the season. It doesn't change with the mood and things like that. It is not that. It has got some kind of celestial appeal. If you come to your originality, you just the way you talk, the way you present yourself. Of course, we should not be intentionally offending anyone of this thing. Your originality attracts. That is what I'm talking about, the moonlight. If you come to that kind of originality, then it will attract. So what is happening is, in the bargain, if you drop off all the artificial stuff, then originality emerges itself. You need to create anything new. You already have it. So you need not to download originality, learn about it and study about it and get a PhD then. No, it is there. Only thing what you need to do, you drop that baggage. Drop that baggage of your concept that will make you good, that will make yours elevated, that will make you established, that make you get yourself approved by the society and your hierarchy. This false narrative, what you convince yourself, that need to be dropped. Okay. When that drops, your originality comes up, all the artificial lights goes off, and then the moon emerges itself. Okay. That is the kind of thing we are talking here. Next, urge to be right. Okay. This is interesting. All of us, we are all intellectual beings. We are all educated, we are intellectuals. We have it. Sometimes someone says, I think, therefore I am. You think, therefore you are your lower self. That is a bondage. That is not a wording you can publish. On the spiritual perspective, of course. Practical level, they said, I think means we are proud of that we have a thinking ability. We are a thinker. There's nothing wrong in thinking. That's okay. You need that, your intellectual ability to operate in the external world. That's fine. But considering that is the power you have, then you have to wait till something happens when this faculty fails. Then you realize you don't have any solution. Even no matter whatever you thought about it, whatever you read about it, there is no solution. Absolutely nothing. And you cannot do anything about it. You apply whatever knowledge you have, apply whatever experience you gathered so far, you apply, whatever, but it is still not happening. You don't know why. That is the time your intellect fails you. And that is the time, so-called, the true you emerges from there. Those kind of things, when you operate in that mental domain, what I think, therefore I am concept, always there is a tendency to be right. We want it to be right. There is some discussion going on. I should, say that what I am saying is right, because I may be studied, I may be doctorate, postdoctorate on some subject. I know what I'm talking. I'm right. Or maybe I have listened to 50 YouTubes, read 1,000 books, so I know better. I'm right. So when any discussion comes, we try to establish that we are right. Or more egoistic version is, what I am saying, there cannot be anything, better version of that. The best and right. Anyway, these things, it is everywhere in a discussion, even in the family, in the social, professional matters, and all. So why when we have any kind of communication, discussion, anything, the thing what I say, that has to be right. Or even the actions we take. I think it is right, that's what I have taken the action. If I think it is not, not right, or in other sense, not intellectual, or not smart rather. Right means I'm not telling the truth. I'm saying what I think is right. So we normally do it. Because if we don't think it is right for me, then I will not do it. I will do it right. Maybe it will give me more name, fame, or all those things, more power, or in the position in the society, or recognition. That's why we're looking for all this. Recognition is a part of that first point. That acceptance by the others and the society. Anyway, so now here, that governs everything. In any kind of discussion, and if somebody is telling something, you say, no, that is not right. This is right. Then we give argument, and we support that with the logic and support that with the facts and figures to make our case right, to win the case. Whether it is consciously or unconsciously, we are doing it all the time. So, basically, that's why any discussion, any forum, that becomes a competition of who is right. But there may be some kind of, it gets very interesting if you have an audience. They see that, oh, what is going on? Oh, that's a great. Yeah, his points are correct and things like that. It makes sense. It may this, that, whatever, the way they encourage and they got, they pumped up to give more and more. All right, but this particular attitude to be right, it is the come from the another facet of your ego, which doesn't want to lose. You are using the logic to support your ego. That's why you fight for what is right. That's why you argue. That's why this thing. That's why in another way your ego gets satisfied out of the whole exercise. Spiritual path is just opposite of this. In spiritual path, when one go into the awareness, as I said, the journey is about the awareness. When one grows into the awareness, from where it come, under what circumstances, where the person is guided or came from his or her own sadhana, or from the life experience they come there, or there can be some life experience can come into this kind of spiritual evolution, like wisdom. Say the villagers, they are not educated, they are not these things, but they being with the nature also develop this kind of things. Evolve into the awareness. That is quite possible. Anyway, so what in that case, see, they realize the truth is out there. Nobody can change that. Somebody is saying the sky is green color will not make the sky green, right? But you can, by giving logic, you can prove it is green. It is possible. But what truth remains there. So they realize that if the truth remains there and that I'm walking my own path, somebody else walking their own paths, how does it matter that these two paths are not exactly same? The views are not exactly same. The realizations are not exactly same. Experience is not exactly same. It need not to be. So in that way, it is just a matter of perception and views. You can have your own view, I can have my own view. As long as we are progressing our own path, what is the point in fighting and establishing who is best or who is right? All the time, insisting that my view is the right, that one is like a trap. It is a trap on our spiritual journey. We stuck there and then trouble too many things on us, will trouble us just to be on the right. We cannot come out of that, what is called, from that hole. When you drop that, how you drop that? You drop that from self-realization and you understand that you realize that you, to make all the wrong things in the world right, uska koi theka tumne nahi leke rakha hai. It is not your duty to make all the wrong things into the world to make them right. There was a saying, I don't know who has said that, is that earlier I was smart, I wanted to change the world. Now I am wise, I want to change myself. That is the spiritual approach. This paradigm shift from your gaining into the world to you gain on your own. Your journey is about your own thing. Let whatever wrong thing, injustices and all in the world, let it be there. Everything has a higher purpose. Only thing we didn't understand it. Unnecessarily you go and fight with that. It is like fighting with a river. River is flowing in a certain direction because of certain reasons, higher reasons. In my view, the river should not flow there, river should flow the other way around. I keep on fighting. And in that fight, maybe I will go a little bit progress here and there. Maybe I'm swimming. I can, upstream I can swim a little bit, but I cannot constantly go into that. One point of time will come, I have to give up. Because this flow is much, much higher than what my individual capacity. That realization, when it comes, then you will be concentrating on yourself. You will grow in awareness. You are not going to change all so-called wrong things in the world. That is not your job. If you can change yourself, you evolve, then maybe, possibly, you may inspire few other more. It is again their choice. You have no right to say, you do this, you do that. Okay. It's none of your business, what others are doing. Okay. Whether they are walking the path you are walking, not necessarily. Okay. There are many, they learn in the hard way. That is their in life path. You cannot do anything about it. Yeah. So unnecessarily prove yourself to be right and show them the path is not your business. Yes, if somebody is interested, you are asking for it, asking help and guidance, that time you give. So that they can, again, they have a free will and choice to implement them or not to implement them. It's up to them. So many people ask me that RPA, how I am growing. I said, you are going nice and fine. And only thing I have to see your direction is in the right side, means in the proper side. If you turn around, then I will correct you. But in that direction, how fast you are going, the question is immaterial. Because journey is about going towards the right direction, not arriving at a certain destination. It is when you walk the path, you realize the truth is there is no destination. Okay. Your direction of the journey matters. That is what is more important, not whether I have arrived and whether this milestone I achieved. These are all mind constructs. Okay. It is also given as a peeling of onion. What you get inside. If truly you peel off all the this onion thing, the scales and all these things, inside there will be nothing. Okay. But the process of doing will give you certain experiences, peeling off the onion. And that is what is important. Not about loading something about the final, gold medal there. No. Yeah. What will happen then? Then why? Logically, it becomes useless stuff. No? हम गधे हैं क्या ऐसे ही चल रहे हैं? No. In the process of journey, you transform yourself. And that is the result, not where you are reaching. Okay. It is all about a caterpillar become a butterfly. So, how much the caterpillar worked, how many days the cocoon formed, and how big the cocoon and all this kind of is immaterial. Yeah. As long as you follow that, you don't run away from it, the scene. As long as you are under the process, you will be transformed one day. Cocoon will open and beautiful butterfly will come out and it will fly. Where it is going, it doesn't matter. There is no destination. It has to go in a particular, garden and a particular flower it has to sit, and it has got a target to achieve, and it is like 2 kilometers from here. No. Its beauty reveals itself. That is the result. So the question is, how fast I am going is irrelevant as long as you are undergoing the process. Your guru and guide, they make sure you are undergoing that process. They will not give you some kind of lollipop that you will get something there. Maybe initially, maybe encourage you, so that, because you don't perceive that there is nothing there. Okay. What is the meaning of all these things? So you will not realize that. That's why maybe, just for your satisfaction, might have told you a few things here and there. Yeah. But otherwise, the truth is, it is the process you need to undergo, and those processes come from your direct first-hand experience of your life. It cannot be created, imitated, or some kind of in the chamber you can create certain things, not possible. But yes, something can be done that process how make sure you are doing less mistakes or less chance of turning back or less chance of dropping out. That can be guided. And that is the whole purpose of today's discussions. These are the points people get stuck. Okay, I hope the overall purpose is understood. Let's go to the next point. So I hope the art to be right, there is only one truth. There is right and wrong is a perception. It's a duality consciousness, perception, right and wrong. And I given a very this advice. I think last session also we talked about it during the family type discussion. If you have your duty and something right in one side and your peace of mind in another side, always you choose your peace of mind. When I give this advice, many people, they have reacted to that. They said, how come you become a spiritual, you claim yourself to be enlightened, you claim you have to be guru. How come you guide us, don't follow the right path? How come our duty, right path, don't follow? It's we cannot take it. It's a contradictory. Guru, as per their understanding, Guru should say, you follow always right path. Like a military rule, follow this rule, other will get a stick. Anyway, now, then I tell them, see, just because by divine grace, I'll be able to see a lot of things, the truth as it is. That's why I know whatever you are thinking it is the right thing, that is also an illusion. You are thinking it is right, but it is also illusion. Go beyond that, where right and wrong cease to exist. In that plane, the truth reveals itself. So, whatever you are thinking and focusing and pushing that this is the right thing to do and I have to establish right and all those kind of things, that is your idea of right. That is your idea of what people should do, what people should listen, what people should think. It is your idea. Creator has enough capacity to take care of everyone. Okay. Everyone and everything into their life. You need not to bother about what the world is going and what the society is going and what is the right thing to do and all those kind of things. Yeah, what you can do, as per your understanding, you do your best. And rest you leave it to the divine. So the system can take care of itself. Yeah? You don't become a deal maker in between. Yeah? So you are nobody. You don't have that power. Okay, so that's why it is all about evolving. Right and wrong is there. That's why there is a need to evolve beyond that. Going only to the right will not take you there. It's the other side of the coin. You cannot take the head and leave the tail. It's not possible. The magnet like it. Take North Pole and leave the South. Not possible. As long as there's a duality, other thing will come. That is why that evolution is needed, where you need to drop even the right thing as per your understanding. Okay. Okay, next is attachment to material possessions. Attachment to material possessions is, of course, we have a consumer-oriented society, and we have so many things, businesses going on based on the consumerism. Yeah? They want to sell many things, we buy many things. Many things we may need, and most of the things we don't need. We just buy to show off. And suppose, we put a lot of effort to earn money as much as possible. All of us. Nothing wrong in earning money. We do need money. In the three-dimensional world, in the art plane, we need money. It is one of the things, lesson we come here to learn. Nothing wrong there. That it is not to be taken that, the money is bad or something. No. What is bad is the greed. If you keep on accumulating stuff, you buy this, you buy that. So maybe whoever has already accumulated wealth, they buy bigger things like property and house here, house in that country, and this, it is that much big palatial mansion and this, that, the car of this model, that model, and full fleet. Maybe one helicopter, one private jet, and all this, it's a show off. What you basically need from go to point A to point B, that's what you need. Okay. And whether you are going with a normal car or the top level of Ferrari, it doesn't matter. That for the journey, as far as journey is concerned, it will boost your ego. From here, you have to go to international travel. You can go by any normal aeroplane and all those available things, and you can go there, or you can go by your own private jet. But the purpose is to go from here to there. The Warren Buffett, he owns a private jet company, but he never traveled in a private jet. His company. One phone call, he can get 5 private jets to receive him and to give wherever it is, but he never traveled there. This comes from that different level of consciousness, because it is not adding any value to him. As long as need is suffice, it's okay. Why I need that? That is show off. Anyway, so we accumulate so much, when you go for, say, the shopping. We bought so many things we don't need, or maybe it will be short-lasting. It's not that we don't have clothes, but you keep on buying clothes. Why? Because in the name of fashion, in the name of trend, in the name of this, that, this offer, that is currently in the so-and-so, what is called, film stars wear this, so have to wear that, in the name of anything, basically. You think that kind of accumulating those kind of things will elevate your status in your society or things. Honestly, nobody bothers except yourself, all those things. If somebody has some higher value in society also, it's not because what that person is wearing and things like that. It is only they have to advertise again and again, I'm having this, I'm having that, and things like that. Otherwise, no. If somebody else is also appreciating this, that is also one day they will, they will be your friend as long as you have that. And the moment, because of any reason, you lose them, they will not look at you. That from ISKCON one, I think Guru Gopal Das, I think he just he speaks on some very interesting topics. So he said that when you have a lot of money, the wealth, and you have a lot of positions and all, you will get a lot of friends and all, and they'll come and say, how are you? And we don't have, if you lose all of them, you don't have any money and thing like that, then same people say, who are you? I don't know you. That is what the society is. It's okay, fine. So it basically, nobody cares about you. It is not about your value. It is about what you have. And what you have is temporary. Anything in this world is temporary. You are just temporarily, you are claiming that it is yours, but it never was and never will be yours all the time. And that also famous story I gave about the cow and that farmer. I will not repeat it here, so you know what I'm talking here. What you claim to be yours, but things are just opposite to that. You are slave of those things. You are slave of your possessions. So if you are having a very high level, say S-class Mercedes and all, it has got a small scratch and you have to go and spend thousands of, maybe thousands of dollars to get the scratch repaired. Okay. And you are so much worried why it has got a scratch, something like that. So it brings more issues with those kind of things. So more of the thing is we lost into our possessions because we identify these things with us, that these are the things, and this is called attachment. When to express ourselves into this world, we have to use our possession, materialistic possession, our wealth, or where we stay, and what we drive, and how we travel, what we eat, and what are these kind of things, and what are the places, what club membership I have, and what celebrities I met, and whose celebrities' son's marriage I attended, and this thing, all those kind of stuff. That is your attachment to the materialistic things. Okay. There is nothing wrong in fundamentally into that. I'm not saying that wrong, but you lost when you try to identify themselves with you and you expect that people, just like Gaur Gopal Das said, that you expect that somebody will come and say, how are you? Everybody in the different ladder of the society will come. Then you need to maintain that. And there you got stuck. The same things, what you give, you are as per your idea, the social status, the same thing becomes a big burden on your spiritual journey. This attachment will not allow you to get liberated and go towards the truth. That the enlightenment happens when you experience the death in the living body. What is that? At the time of death, whatever taken out from you, whatever you don't carry with you, like your bank balance, your property, your relationships, your house, and your designation, your position, your social status, or your name, fame, or whatever. And the end, your physical body also you have to live. Yeah. All those things, anyway, it will be taken away from you in the fraction of a second at the time of death. In the living body, if you can, I'm not saying you donate everything, I'm not saying that, or leave everything. If you can get detached from it, means they will not be able to control you. If you have it, you enjoy. If you don't have it, you don't have no complaint. That is called the detachment, because that is not controlling you. It's not important that I need to have the latest model of iPhone in my pocket. I don't care. As long as it works, I can call, I can take photo or message, chat, I am fine. What should I do with the latest model? And that's it. So detachment is not to drop the phone itself. Detachment is to get rid of the craze that you have to have the latest model and whatever fashionable things, onto things. There is no point. These things will come and go. Tomorrow something else will come. Okay, some craze will come, you're running behind it, and to get that, you get rid of the craze. That's what it is. Not to reject the whole thing altogether. That can be developed on the spiritual journey. Those who already evolved, those things get dropped automatically. They cannot. Actually, the spiritual masters cannot be bought by this kind of things, property, money, and things. You cannot basically bribe them because they don't need them, and that is irrelevant for them. I was talking about when I first time met Amar Jyoti ji, not first time, sorry, first time in Dubai. When I went there to meet with him in 2000, that is 2013 most likely. Yeah, I went to Shiv Khori cave. So first time I met there. Then, no, that is the first time I met him. Dubai, after that he came to Dubai and there. So 2013 I met him there in Himachal Pradesh and something. I saw one minister came with, because we are having a breakfast, we stayed one night in some hotel or so he came there and we'll go all walking from there up the hill. He was there, first thing he asked, you go and have breakfast. So we are saying, can I take one photo with you? Have you breakfast? No, go have breakfast. Such a simple and such a thing. So he makes sure everybody gets the breakfast and then he will start. In the meantime, when he was standing into that lobby, one minister came with a police car and all. I'm not sure whether he was chief minister or not, but it was a convoy, etc. In front of me, yeah. I have seen this much. I think that time that 2,000 rupees note were there, that the pink color kind of things. So many bundles of 2,000 rupees note, this much. So that minister, to put it in front of his feet and take his, the blessings. Then I saw him saying, okay, isko le jao. Yeah, take this. You don't need to. तो बोला ये सब ले जाओ. You have my blessings. शायद कोई election का कोई ये था कि asking blessings from some election or something like that. He said, my blessings are with you, but ये सब ले जाओ. So how it is possible? Because it's completely detached from this. It doesn't make whatever gadda or that kind of cash will not move him even a little. It's not possible to have an impact on this. Rather than, means it is good that he didn't ask him to get out. Okay. Sometimes even the masters, they do it. If they know they come to bribe these things. But anyway, whatever the thing is. So what I'm basically saying, it doesn't matter to them. Truly doesn't matter to them. So it doesn't mean that he doesn't accept that any kind of donation or things like that. If it has come through some, like somebody has gifted him one Goshala, land for Goshala, Goshala near Palampur. So Hariom may be knowing. Hariom, you visited there, Goshala?
Hanji Guruji. It is a place called Gangret.
Okay.
It is about 2 hours away from Palampur.
I see. Okay. That land has been, donated by someone, koi sajjan hoga. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that this kind of things, materialistic possessions, cannot buy that who are truly masters, because they are beyond that. They know the uselessness of these things. That's why. So that they are beyond that. So when you walk the path, that will come from inside. So that, as I mentioned, you need not to run away from it, but they cannot control you. You come to a natural, some fairness. If somebody is having, too much money and somebody is not having any money, you will approach to both of them will be same. You will not consider something special. Yeah, I'm not saying you don't appreciate. You can tell them, oh, great, you have a lot of wealth. Very good. Yeah, divine is great for you. Yeah, that's good. But that spiritual person will not face any jealousy that why not me and I'm so much, तो मेरे पास आना चाहिए. Never. Okay. And also same thing if somebody don't have, usko jo hai na, they will not go into the stage where the master will give a sympathy. Oh my God, you very misfortune, it's unfortunate for you and feel this thing. They will not do that. Because when you go into the sympathy mode, you are basically drawing that kind of energy. That will not help, not to the other person, and to you also. What you have is empathy. You fully understand what the person is going through. You guide them through it with a full understanding. When you see, I'm just sharing with you, when you see the many people, what kind of karma they are facing, past life karma, oh my God. Okay. It's not easy because their soul has chosen to exhaust that karma in this life through suffering. And suddenly when that karma file is closed, that time after that, their spiritual evolution is so fast, very fast. Guidance are already available. That's why Babaji's name, already they know. That's why they come here. But coming here does not mean that the absence of suffering. They need to learn lesson also and finish their karma also. I'm talking about those who don't have, so-called not fortunate enough to have a lot of, the wealth and luxuries in life. That is the reason. And knowingly, masters, they don't interfere into their soul's plan. They don't say, no, I will take away all those things and you will be a rich person tomorrow. No, because if the master does that, master means if the master can say, Babaji, please do it for this person is suffering quite a long time, usko thoda sa ye kar do. And if he has been given, then the balance karma is not established. So the chance of getting enlightened in this life is also go, because that will be transferred to the next life. That is why knowingly the masters, they don't interfere into their soul's plan, because they need to go through it. They need to exhaust whatever the balance karma, what is the rest of the things will be taken care of. Means I say that if you walk that one step forward, the divine comes down 99 steps. The suffering is just that one step. Yeah? So you can understand what kind of karma they might had earlier lifetimes. Even that one step is become so much burdening. So that is the issue. But that one step, master will not interfere, because unless until they take that step, the possibility of divine 99 steps will be impossible. So that's why. Okay. Anyway. So that is about that attachment to the position things. So when we learn and slowly we get detached from these things, and then we progress going fly. You can just fly high with like a bird. Yeah. Self-gratification and selfish practices. Most of the things we do, that is for our own happiness. Self-gratification. Everything now as we come into the modern era, so-called modern. Yeah. What we did is we make the time faster and faster to get what I want. Now, even it is, whatever you want to order online and the delivery within 24 hours, next day, or even the pizza delivery half an hour or whatever, 10 minutes delivery. This time I come to Debu, we are here. I surprised. There is something called 10 minutes delivery also there. Anyway, so 10 minutes, right? Some grocery or something? 10 minutes.
Those black points. Guruji, blink it.
Black point.
Just blink your eye and it is there.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, this is all about, because modern, people, whatever I want it now. immediately. Yeah, because they cannot wait. And this marketing thing and business is supporting that, your craze of having it right now. Yeah. So the time has become less and less and less, and all these things. This is called self-gratification. In the spiritual journey, you just learn just the opposite thing. How much self-gratification you can delay. Means you got it, but how much you can hold it till you actually, suppose it's a food item, you consume it. From internally, you can, if you have a capacity to hold it, not immediately, put it in your mouth. That is the capacity. That is your capacity, which is spiritual in nature. Because in this, in spiritual domain, there is no time and space. So the now or faster or half an hour or this business is not there. They know whatever is for you, you will get it no matter what. Don't unnecessarily travel yourself to get it few minutes faster or things like that. Or become crazy about these things. No, I want, because of any reason, if something I want not delivered in time, then I got crazy and filing complaints and this and that. This is showing it is my inability to hold it. That is the power. That is the power of the spiritual thing, that it can hold. In fact, it can go in an infinite patience, because it trusted the divine timing, not your timing. So the playing with the time can disturb you mentally. They dropped even that, so that anybody plays with the time, anything in the world playing with time will not disturb them. Okay? Because it has got no control over them. It's okay with it. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, maybe after 2 days, 5 days, it's okay. No? That's why they become calm and composed. They're not disturbed and gone crazy that why it is not this and that and all. About the personal stuff, I'm saying. I'm not saying they will miss the flight and saying that, oh, I will go on my own time and catch that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that self-gratification. Otherwise, time-wise, they respect the time more than anybody else. Time is Mahakal. It is to be respected and worshipped. So they will never disrespect that time. But what I'm saying here is that it is a self-gratification. And same thing is selfish practices. Like snatching something from other and just fulfill my things. And they find multiple ways to get things from others. The selfishness is not illegal into the planet Earth. No, there is no law in any country in this world where the selfish is punishable. Somebody is selfish, grabbing something for himself or herself, depriving others, is not punishable by law. But in the spiritual domain, it comes very high level of priority. I'm just informing you. Whoever has lived a life of selfish motives and selfish actions, when they cross over to the other side, they're karmically, they come into the very low vibration zone, very dense, that is, or dark, or whatever you can describe about it. But whoever has that selfless things, like helping others, guiding others, and donating, particularly for the spiritual causes, they contribute voluntarily. So this kind of stuff, selfless acts. When the more they do, maybe in the world it will be treated like a foolish. Yeah? So think why you need to do for unnecessarily, without any paying, without any this thing. Why need to do for others? Let them earn their own. Who am I to give this thing? It is not about them, it is about you. Okay. You are giving because you realize the joy of giving. Whatever you give, first you have it. No? That's why you're able to give. Selfishness comes where you're able to give, but you are not giving because you don't want to give. Yeah? That is selfishness. Something you don't have. There's no question of giving it to others. So that is not about, unconditional giving there. Because you don't have it. As simple as that. But you do have it. But you don't want to give it. That is selfishness. This selfishness in the spiritual, one of the major characteristics into that, in the spiritual domain. Again, if you correlate, it comes from the brain to heart journey. You cannot give it to somebody wholeheartedly, not mindfully, okay? Wholeheartedly, unless until your heart chakra is open. You come to the level of the spiritual realization that we are one. That is a higher level of spiritual understanding which you experientially understand. Unless until you come towards that, you cannot give. It doesn't make sense to give to anyone. So it is one of the parameters when you can give without expecting anything in return. It's not a deal. It's not a transaction. It is that way you are experiencing yourself. That is a high spiritual quality. It's not only, as I mentioned, it's not only about the money. You can give knowledge, you can share time, seva. Big thing you can offer. Give your time, give your seva, share your knowledge. Okay. So that if out of whatever knowledge you share, somebody can get benefit out of it on their own. But you don't claim that because of you something has happened. No. Again, the selfishness starts there. As long when you claim it, that you gave it. Okay. And because of you, something has happened. No, you are nobody. You are just a means. Those people, they realize that they feel blessed. They are the agents of the divine, so that they are in a position to help others. I told you that I get 10 or 15 different issues people tell me and ask me to, send healing or meditate or, give advices. I'm fine. So from my point, if I operate, why should I unnecessarily for free? Why should I give all those kind of advices and things and do something for somebody, whatever I do? Yeah. Why should I do it? Yeah. I don't have a problem on my own. My family, I'm also a family person. I have a lot of problems. Yeah. And some of the problems much more than whatever request I receive. But you see that divine grace is irrespective of my own problems. I'm able to cater to all this request. Isn't it a very high level of divine gift? It's a privilege. People who are contacting me, they are feeling that I may get some help. They have the trust. That's why they are contacting me. Isn't it is a very high level of earning? It's not about the money earning. Okay. You earn their trust. You become that moonlight into their life. Okay. That has a natural capacity to attract, to change what they are going through into their lives. You will not change anything into their life. And as I told you why. Yeah? But just being in contact with you, their journey gets smoother. Their awareness level increases, so the pain becomes less. Suffering becomes less. Incident you cannot change, but the suffering you can reduce. Suffering is playing the whole thing in your mind again and again. Yeah. So if you are instrumental of doing that in somebody else's life, yeah, that is the great level of opposite of selfishness. You are part of the divine. That is how you evolve. That is why the selfishness gets dropped. Whenever anybody is coming in touch with you, asking for anything, first thing you will not see that I have a lot of problems. Why should I give time, or why should I give them this? That doesn't appear in your consciousness within you. You say, how I can help this person? How I can channel whatever the divine thing to reach that person so that they can, even if a little bit, they get benefited from it, get relieved of whatever they are going through. Okay. All right. So now the self-gratification and selfish practices. Next is expectation in our favor. Okay. Expectation is another thing. What we come across much later part in our life. The truth is, everything we do in our life for our own happiness. Okay. That is there. If something we are going to eat somewhere, that will bring our happiness. If I have given a gift to somebody, went to somebody's some event, some marriage ceremony, I have given a gift, that is for my happiness, because that established my social status. If I'm taking my family on holidays and visiting some foreign countries, that is for my happiness. That gives me happiness. If I'm doing something for my parents or elders, that is my happiness. If I'm buying some car, it's for my happiness. Everything we do for our happiness, right? So, because it gives us some level of happiness, so that's why you are doing it. There's a whole, primary reason for doing something, for having something in our life. So, even in the relationships, I go into the relationship where it gives me happiness. If it doesn't give me happiness, then I will not go into that relationship. It's simple. This happiness, so it is clear, everything we do for our own happiness. If you are helping somebody, my children, that is for my happiness. I think it is my duty to help my child, and by doing so, I am feeling happy. Even I sacrifice something, by sacrificing, I feel happy, because I feel by sacrificing, my children will grow and whatever. Yeah. Everything I am doing for my own happiness. Question is that, our life is full of happiness? No. That's why the people say that I feel my life is full of darkness and little bit firefly, jugnu, here and there happiness. Simple, small sparkling of happiness here and there, sometime, most of the time dark. Something happened, I was very happy. Some phone call came, it ruined my day. Something bad news I received and gone. Like that. Anyway, most of the people, their experience is like that. Degree varies, of course. Everybody's life, the situations are same, degree varies, but mostly it is into case. So if you go into researching, studying the detail, why we cannot be happy all the time? Because everything we do for our own happiness. If we spend something, that is for our happiness. If I do something for others, that is for our own happiness. If I buy something, that is for our own happiness. Everything we do for our own, you say something, that is for our own happiness. Why our life is still not happy? Because whole thing we do for our own happiness. In the research, if you go further detail, the spiritual understanding comes that, okay, first of the thing is happiness is state of mind, and it is in the state of mind, but that is one part of it. But another thing is happiness, you are not getting happy because simple reason is you expected something that didn't happen the way you like it. It is your expectation within bracket, not happening of expectation, that ruins your happiness. So, whoever knows the mathematical science that we call it happiness is inversely proportional to the expectation. Higher the expectation, less the happiness. So, expectation is the culprit here. Why we cannot be happy all the time? It is not about what is actually happening. Okay. Maybe I'm talking about the food delivery stuff, but half an hour and I'm delivered with the pizza within half an hour. But when I'm trying to eat it, I find it there, the mirchi thoda zyada hai. Then the chili is more. I don't like it. So even though the pizza delivered to me in the right time, but it did not meet my expectation. So I become unhappy. Anything else, somebody said something, I don't like what that person said, I become unhappy. Because I was thinking that person will say, nice talk to me. The other person came and tell me that I don't care what you think about it, and this is what I think, and I'm going to do it. And I don't like that attitude. Okay. Then I become unhappy. So it is all about the expectation. So what does spiritual journey do with it? They drop the expectation from your system. You don't expect anything from anyone. Not about talking. In any decision making you do, there's no expectation. If you go to the master level, maybe somebody else's life has changed. They don't expect a thank you in return. The Jesus Christ story, the 40 people, leprosy patient, they came to him and he healed them, 40 people. 39 of them immediately, run towards the village to enjoy their lives. Only one lady returned for a few minutes to say, Jesus, thank you. You changed my life. That's it. So 39:1. That ratio, people will not even give you a thank you. So why you expect that even? That is the mastery. Jesus did not because he expecting thank you and they will make a big house and palace for it, or they provide some good food and meat and wine for serve him. And no, just given them the healing, the blessings, and their life changed. So he doesn't even expecting a thank you. It is the exception of that lady who said thank you. In your spiritual journey, you will see that all the time. It is not about what others do or say. When you evolve, then it does not matter what they're saying, what they're doing, because they're no longer controlling you. You are no longer controlling you. You are beyond their control. What they say, what they do, doesn't matter. You are doing it for your own nature. So how you are, you are expressing yourself. You are so-called helping others is your expression of pure love. Not because their deservability. And some just opposite happens. People operate from the mind or ego. First thing they check is the deservability. I have to give this thing to that fellow. Is that he or she deserves it? If not, why should I give? Okay. This is a logical understanding. But spiritual understanding is you have a capacity to give. As I mentioned a little earlier, you have it. That's why you're able to give it, right? That itself is a blessing. You have it. Not everybody can have it, and even if they have it, they cannot give it. You are Purushottam. You are better person. There's nobody in between. No need that nobody will clap hands for you. It's between you and the divine. Okay? So this is the type of the thing when it will happen that expectations, so if you drop the expectation, what happens? If you can drop 100% expectation, you get enlightened. Okay. Let me explain you why. Earlier, I was discussing about the formula. Happiness is inversely proportional to the expectation. Or whoever knows physics, they know that proportional, you can change it to equal sign, give it a constant. Okay. So happiness equal to a constant multiplied by 1 upon expectation. So expectation is the denominator. If expectation goes high, then happiness comes down because it is in a denominator. If 1 by 2 become 1 by 5, then 1 by 5 is less the value of 1 by 2. Then 1 by 10 is still less. So higher the expectation, less the happiness. So from where the mastery comes? Masters makes it expectation almost 0. If you get 1 divided by 0, that happiness goes towards infinite because you have no expectation. So whatever happens, it brings you joy. That state, all the masters belong to that because it is not depending upon who said what and they're appreciating or not appreciating. No expectation at all from anyone, from anything. 1 divided by 0, that factor makes the other side infinite, means happiness become infinite. And that is the state all masters belong. That is the state in the spiritual terminology, they call it Sachidananda state, Sada Chit Anand state. It's a joy. It's not happiness. Happiness is state of mind. Sachidananda state is the level of consciousness where you operate is full of joy. That is your true state. That is the state of your soul, higher self, consciousness, full of joy. All the time. Everywhere. Time, space, not an issue. Irrelevant, time, space. All the time, full of joy. So they operate from there, no expectation of anything or anyone. Matter ends there. Okay. They live a liberated life. Monica is saying 0 expectation is hard to achieve and challenging. Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. That's why we have to learn. But if you see what are the alternatives, then earlier we learn is better. Okay. Because it is not, of course it is not possible to learn something in one day, but this is one of the baggage get dropped, baggage of expectations. When you do your sadhana and all, the expectation get dropped. When you get dropped, then you get liberated. You don't get played by other people, what they're saying, what they're doing. All right. Then mask we put on to look good. See, earlier we discussed about to fit in the society, you have to put on a lot of things for the acceptance and everything. We have to put a lot of masks on ourselves. We need to look good. Look good also is another point or same point. No, there's something else. This is okay. Mask we put to look good, yeah. So why need to put the mask? Because that we need acceptance from the society, from family. We have a different level of conditioning. Maybe religious conditioning. So we have to put on some mask to conform with the religious thing around me. That I conform to this religious belief system. Then maybe I put on another mask or modify my mask to fit into the political things, into where I live, and also I should not be unnecessarily, politically, I should not be figured out or singled out and things like that. So we keep on putting masks, different things. And this we learn very early stage of our life. That is why it's called the smart. People are having smart, they put on mask very quick and change the mask also very quick, depending on the situation and the places. This we develop this art form. What happens is, in the process of life, we ourselves, we become lost who we truly are. Only mask remains. And that, when we realize that, that becomes a turning point for us. In the spiritual journey, we need to drop off all the masks, because masks makes it what it is not. It's untrue. Many of the life things, it becomes a puzzle. You know? So I think one of other sessions also I was explaining why all of our life puzzles are not, we cannot solve them. You know the puzzle, that the picture, there's a lot of small pieces, puzzle, that is two-dimensional puzzle, say. When the picture of, say maybe something, say Mount Everest with a lot of things, and there are small pieces, and you have to fit into the, make the picture of the Mount Everest or something like that. So, or some animal or something. So you have to make those kind of stuff. So you have to fit into that, no? That small blocks, you have to put it there to make the picture, complete picture. So life is like that puzzle. And we try to solve that puzzle for our own, based on whatever intelligence, knowledge, and experience we have. We try like a normal puzzle system. The edges are easy because they have one side plane. We know it will go there, it will go there. Slowly from there we come inside and all. Then few of the things we could not locate. It looks all same, and we try different way and all. That is why we got stuck. Now, spiritual understanding, why our life puzzle, they are not solved. Primary reason is they are masked. Masked means they gone away from the truth. Whatever you are thinking in your life, I'm saying, I'm not talking about actual puzzle now. I'm talking why life's puzzle we could not solve. Few pieces that become bigger than its normal size. Because of the mask, because of our idea or expand it, we give too much importance into all those things. You know, because it has become bigger, it will not fit into that puzzle because the slot is limited only for that shape and size. If it inflated, think of that normal puzzle. If it inflated, how it can fit there? And that is primary reason we cannot solve our own issues. All answers we don't get in our life. And most of the time we cannot keep the account closed. Like we cannot make that debit and credit equal. Not possible because of this factor. So to solve your own life matters, you have to come to the truth, come to the original size. Even if the idea about yourself, who you are, you have to come to the truth. Many people, they don't like to face themselves. Maybe something very bad or dark may come out of their own nature, but they don't like to face it. But that is the truth. Every glass is half full, half empty. You cannot claim the glass is full always and you fit into this puzzle. Not possible. You have to see what part is full. Also, you have to see what part is empty. In the truth, you will be able to find the solution. Or at least it will be meaningful. This process is the spiritual process. So it drops off all the masks and the truth, real you comes out. That gives you the solution. That solves all the issues, unanswered questions of your own life and own experiences. So this process, more you evolve, more the masks drop off and the truth reveals itself, your true, actual feature, face that comes out. And when you get off all the masks, remove all the, the cosmetic things from your face, then true you come up. Okay. And that's why you become from the artificial halogen lights to the moonlight. Yeah. Doing something which our consciousness do not support. I think we have to go faster. Okay, I'll quickly touch upon these 2 points. Then we take a few questions. Okay, doing something which our conscious do not support. See, all of us, we have an instrument of the truth in us. It knows what is right and what is wrong, what is good for us and what is not good for us. All those things we know. So whenever something comes in front of us, then we get some nudge from insides, something, some feeling. Yeah? But because of whatever be the reason, but if we don't go with our feeling, go with our mind is telling us, most likely we'll fall into the trap of like doing something. What is this inner feeling? What you are feeling, that is your consciousness. Yeah, that is your conscience. That is knocking that you may be cheating that person. It is not good for you. Okay, not good for anyone. But you ignore that call. So no, but by doing this, I will get this much profit, and everybody does. You give your own logic. Our ego is good at convincing us. 3 ways it can convince us. 3 ways it can control us. Yeah. One is it logically convincing this is good for us, then creating doubt or creating fear. By doing that, you may be doing something which you know it is not true. Because your conscience, they are nudging, knocking. But as you have a free will contract, they will not interfere. They will just inform. So all of us, when we do something which is not ethical, which is not proper, or maybe it may be harmful to someone, from inner side, we do get a call. We do get a nudge, knock. But most of the time we ignore that and do it anyway because of some other, practical reasons or other things like that. When you go into higher level of spiritual awareness, you will be listening more to your heart than to listen to your brain. Yeah. And then you can save yourself to go into this kind of situations, because whatever you do, you bind karma there, and that karma will definitely come back to you. The awareness will not allow you to do certain things because you know that the karma will be created and you have to suffer the karma. There is no way you can escape that. You can escape the law in the external world, but your internal karma account, there's no way you can escape. Even if your lifetime goes, in another lifetime, it will come and it will haunt you. Yeah. So they know, so that's why they are not doing it. They go with what the conscience allows, what is the true feeling they have, they go as per that. Now, the last point is the fear of death and unknown. Yeah. See, all about that, whatever the things we do normally, practical level, whatever the things we do, if you go into the root cause of all those things, you will find that all those things, whatever you normally do, it is coming out of fear. You are fearful about something. That's why you are saying like that. That's what you are talking like that. You are behaving like that, and you are trying to use your intelligence to, gaslight someone about for that type, or creating some, environment to that. All there is some fear in you because you fear of losing something, and ultimately all this fear, the root cause of every fear is a fear of death. That, okay, if I don't, they do everything, they think it is the tools of survival so that they can survive. They can win over the death by doing this. This is a gross misunderstanding and misconception. Fear comes when you grow into awareness. The fear is absence of pure love. Okay. So root cause is you don't experience pure love. Pure love is the divine connection, the divine love, which you are created of. Fear comes when this connection weakens. If it gets weak, then only fear overpowers you. What spirituality does, it establishes the connection, the truth, the Sachidanand state, that the full trust into the divinity, which is the truth. Anyway, it's not about another concept. It is the truth. When you realize that, it is not about listening and understanding. It's about when you realize that you are protected, you are guided, by your creator all the time, then the fear drops automatically. You are in tune with the pure love. And that is the state the spirituality gives. That is where your life transforms. That is where everything else doesn't matter, because there is nothing to lose. In the higher level of spiritual understanding, even that we know what death. You understand that death has a limitation within your physical body. If the body has taken birth, it has to go anywhere. But there are much things beyond the physical body and mind, what you have, and it will never go. It is not, perishable. It is immortal. It is infinite. So you will identify yourself with that, not with your body and mind. And that is your liberation. And that is what you, in this journey, you will achieve, and you will become living that transformed life full of joy, no matter what happens. The external world will not change, but you change completely. You get completely transformed. That butterfly has broken that cocoon and come out and flying with the divine beauty. That is what your life is. You are no longer a caterpillar. So all this process, so you are just free and liberated and full of beauty. That is the life you lead in the rest of your life. With this, we'll conclude today's session. And you're welcome to ask me questions. In between, let me save the attendance. All right. Okay. Taposh, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for a nice session. One thing which is, I was thinking, the points that you raised while you explained the spiritual things, isn't it getting contradiction with the daily life, particularly whosoever is doing a job, and particularly whosoever is doing a business, he has to self-promote. He has to be bold enough, and that boldness sometimes appears that he is too much egoistic. It appears.
Mhm.
But these are the part and parcel of his activity to live in this earth. So there are so many other things which he has to do it. So which may appear that he's contradicting the spiritual path. So in that sense, are these two going against each other?
Not really. Because if you have to do your duty, you do it honestly as per. Because external world, you have to use your intelligence. Okay. So your experience, your intelligence, your education, you use there. Only thing you have to be only one thing you have to be careful: no harm to anything or anyone. That's all. But how you arrive there, whether it is, it will give you, it is against the spiritual principle, no. Because I normally give example of the judge. Judge is giving death penalty to some criminal. That will not, the judge will not bind any karma. It is his duty to do it. Okay. I'm giving that extreme example. So if your job has to do certain things, if your job has to do, because maybe somebody is not doing his work and you have given warning, that time you don't say, no, I will not warn because I'm spiritual. It is not like that. Because you are doing your job. Yes, you unnecessarily don't harass that person. Don't harm that person. That is the thing you have to distinction you have to make.
Yeah.
But while you do your duty, as long as truly is your duty, you don't have any personal agenda. You are not doing anything which is not, in the line with spiritual path. Means earlier, I think last session or so, last session I was explaining any common job, cooking, eating, writing, even having a meeting, all this can be a form of meditation. As long as you're doing with the full attention and awareness. If you do that, that itself becomes spiritual. Your any activity, any mundane activity, okay? It is not about spirituality, is only we meditate, and this is not that. So, not doing something different, do same thing with awareness, that makes you spiritual.
Yeah, because while we are in the job world or business world, so we are dealing with people, your peers, your colleagues, and all. So it is again dealing with them means a lot of times it will come, they will ask you, they will ask from you certain things, which normally if I go with the spiritual way, there is no harm in giving him. If I go with the spiritual way, but if I think from the job perspective and all, that should not be given. I mean, so these are certain, blurring and getting one against each other. Which one to, which one not to. So
correct. See, if you limit yourself in the, what my advice is that in the spirituality initially, spirituality keep it separate. Okay. When you are office, you concentrate what you are supposed to do in that role. Okay. If you have to supposed to deal with something, you have to play the games of the business and all those things. They say, no, everything is fair in love, war, and business. Okay.
Yeah.
You play the game. Be Roman in Rome. Okay. Basically, I'm saying you need not to be Dalai Lama and get out of your country. Okay. You have to defend your country first. There is a Mahabharata. Okay.
Correct.
So I'm not saying you don't fight. Not fighting is not spiritual.
Correct.
Thing is appropriateness, where you need to fight, where you need to defend. Okay. You have to survive also. You cannot be saint in a world where it is everybody is trying to be behind each other, right? So I'm not saying that you play saint there. Yeah. In fact, it is, you should not give these things, you do it internally, but external, no need to say and go every Tom and Dick and Harry I meet on the road and say, I love you. No need. You will be completely misunderstood and you will become, the people will be criticize you and all those kind of things, making fun of you. That is not what is spirituality. It is your inner state that you don't anybody else to hamper, but whatever you need to do. Whatever game you need to play the game, but only thing from your side, don't harm anyone. That is the only thing, because you bind karma. That's why.
Thank you, Guru.
God bless you. Hari Om.
Guruji Pranam. One small thing regarding the expectation. Now, expectation from others will lead to disappointment. But can we have expectation from our own self? And what are the repercussions?
Very good question. Yeah. Expectation from ourselves, that is, see, only one desire we can have which is not governed by ego is to get enlightened. Okay.
Right.
Because that desire, that expectations come from our soul. Basically, what I'm saying, any expectation which is coming from your soul, you can go ahead with it about you. Okay. But any expectation coming from your mind, you have to be careful. Okay, that is the answer to your proper question. Of course, it needs the awareness, which makes all the difference. Next question, obvious question, how do I know it is coming from my mind or my soul? Okay, there comes the awareness. So if you see that whatever the desire is coming, that is going towards the spirituality, towards the freedom, towards growth, towards helping others, etc., then definitely it is coming from your consciousness. But if something coming from self-gratification, what we discussed quite long about, self-satisfaction, self-gratification, I need it now, I want it, and all those kind of things, it is my right, it is all those kind of things, definitely not coming from your soul. Because soul does not need anything to empower itself. It's already infinitely knowledgeable, infinitely powerful. It doesn't need anything from anyone to get itself satisfied. Only what the soul wants, the lower self, which is mind, body, intellect package, yeah, they wanted to come to the full awareness. That is the light. That is the enlightenment. So anything going towards the desire towards that, it has come from a soul. So in that sense, anything going towards that, that is a checkpoint. If you're going towards that, those you can go ahead with that kind of desire or that kind of expectation from you. Okay.
Right. Thank you so much.
All right. So I think already we exceeded time. We'll conclude it for today with Shanti Pat. Oh. Sarvesham swastirvavatu. Sarvesham shantirvavatu. Sarvesham purnam bhavatu. Sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. Om Sarve bhavantu sukhino. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukkhavag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Mangalam. That completes our session today.